Hello, it's Mark and Melanie time again, all the way from a very hot Fiji this Easter Sunday. So, Easter greetings to all of you.
Happy Easter!
um, just to say that, yeah, this is a thing. This is called Kalavata, which means same colour, and no self respecting couple or family would be seen out on a day like Easter Sunday without all being matchy matchy. So it's not just because we're coupley coupley, it is a thing here in Fiji that couples and families wear the same pattern of clothing, which is great fun.
And we bought this matching clothing last year in October on our wedding anniversary. We managed to pick it up, I think it was in Bar in the north of the island. Or maybe it was in, no, it was in Bar, I think.
I think it was. But anyway, the other anniversary is that this week marks our anniversary of being in Fiji. Yes, you have had rid of us for a whole year. I can hear the celebrations from here. Um, we have missed you, but the time has gone both quickly and slowly. I cannot believe it's a year, but a lot has happened in that time.
Yes, sometimes it feels like time has gone very, very quickly, and at other times it feels like it's going very slowly. It's a strange phenomenon, and one of the things I think we're missing more than anything else is actually the interaction with the news in the United Kingdom and all the things that happen in that part of the world.
But we do have news out here too. At the end of the year, we saw elections, and there was quite a lot of fear here for the possibility of civil unrest, potentially even coup. Um, and the elections did seem to take a long while for the announcement of the results. And there was concerns about the legitimacy of the results, but it turned out to be effectively a hung parliament with a small party taking the control, really, with just three politicians out of about 60 having an awful lot of power. There seems to be some stability at the moment. There are a lot of people who are very pleased about the changing government, and a lot of people who are less than pleased about the changing government after 16 years of one party being in control. Um, Although it feels calm, there are still rumours that there could still be civil unrest, that there could even be a coup. Uh, but everyone tells us that there is very little for us to worry about here at PTC, that we're in a very safe space, and there is nothing to worry for us. Um, but still, it's a fragile situation, and we would ask for prayers, especially because so many of the previous administration are being questioned by police, are being told that they are not allowed to leave the country. So, given the fact that the politics is really on a knife edge split 50-50, there is still room for unrest.
But the new government has opened up some new avenues for us in what we're doing. So one of the things that we've been asked to do very recently, as part of the Fiji Council of Churches, is actually put in a submission to the new Fiscal Policy Review Committee, which means that Melanie essentially wrote a paper for the Fiji Council of Churches on some of the recommendations as to what proposals could be made for tax changes or for wage changes and things like that. So that's been a very interesting development in the new Fiji order, so to speak.
So we today managed to speak to the chair of that commission or that committee. It sounds as though he is wanting to support the poorest in society. He is concerned that what will end up is effectively appeasement of the International Monetary Fund through practical reasons, but they might be able to do some things to help the poorest and weakest in society. And so we pray that the Fiji Council of Churches submission may be a small voice in calling for those changes.
But the changes haven't just been in the political world, they've also been in the work that we've been doing. So, since the beginning of the year, I was asked to take on the responsibilities of interim chaplain. The previous chaplain at the college was redeployed by the Methodist Church at the end of last year, and I went along with some others to his, if you like, inauguration service or induction service in January, and following which the principal of the college asked if I would take on the role of interim chaplain while they continued their search for a permanent chaplain, which has meant that I've had the responsibility of organising the rota for who leads worship in chapel, and in such not so good ways in some ways, I had to take the lead whenever we've had a bereavement in the college community or the extended college community. And very quickly in the new year this year, we had two very sad bereavements, one of both of fathers of members of staff. So that meant having to lead the, I won't call it celebrations, but lead the procedures, I think is the right word, for offering good wishes to those that have been bereaved. And the second one of those was actually a Hindu member of staff. So that meant thinking a little bit more widely about how you could share commiserations and condolences with a family from a different faith. And I think that went down very well in the end, so I'm really pleased with how that went. But yes, new roles in addition to the work that we're already doing has been happening.
And I've had a change of title. When I arrived, I was the director for the, what was I the director of? I was
Women's
the director of the
fellowship, something.
Women's Fellowship Development Programme. And it was very much a role that previously had been focused on the wives of the ministers at the college to try and provide them with some education while they spent time here. But life isn't as simple as that. We have more women training here, thankfully, now. And we're also looking more widely into Suva Society, the town that we're in, Fijian Society, and possibly even wider than that. So I am now the director for the Centre for Gender and Social Justice.
So your email address has changed, hasn't it?
That's about it.
We also have had somebody really lovely, lady called Tabitha, who has been able to come on board and work alongside Melanie for the last 3 months now, and we've just extended her contract for another 3 months. So Melanie has got somebody in the office working alongside her, helping her out, putting policies together and things like that, haven't you?
Indeed, I
You're
have.
not on your own. It's not just you, yourself, and you.
No, not me, myself, and I've got one of the best offices on the whole campus. I've got one of the best buildings on the whole campus, whereas everywhere else on the campus they're struggling for space. I'm very much left on my own in my own little fiefdom, with control of no budget, very few resources, but quite a lot of scope to try and develop new ways of working. And as part of that, we're developing a new programme which will not just be focused on the women of the ministers, the talatalas that train here, but hopefully be more of more use in wider society. And so far, both the Catholic Archdiocese here and also the Methodist Church, and also a civil society organisation, the Fiji Council of Social Services, have shown great interest in the programme that I'm developing. So hopefully that will spread out accredited teaching, and it's the first theological college that we're trying to offer an accredited programme rather than just certificates of participation. So that's a really great step forward, and it's really exciting.
And on wearing my other hats of fundraising and marketing, one of the things we're still trying very hard to do is to get money. So if you've got any money, please send it to us. It would be really helpful. Is that right? That's what I need to do.
That's about it, yeah.
But yes, we've been making all sorts of grant applications to various bodies. We were a little disappointed over the Christmas New Year period when we got told that we hadn't been successful in a grant application that we've made to a Canadian body, which was for internet and e-learning, our e-learning programs. But unfortunately, that didn't come through. But we have been told recently that we have got through to the second stage of a very large grant application that we put in to the Pacific Women Lead, and we're hoping that that might come good. At the moment, we're waiting for the second set of papers to come from them so that we can make that application go forward. We've also made applications to the Methodist Church in Britain, who have been very supportive in the past, and we're hoping again to get some grants from them, which we'll find out about in June, July. But also, Melanie has been successful in other ways,
Um,
thanks to you.
yeah, a huge thank you to everyone who's supported the very small GoFundMe campaign that I ran to try and increase the tech access for women, particularly on campus. There's a real educational gap. So that we have got women from the Solomon Islands, their husbands are studying at master's level, but they have very little English. In the Solomons, there is no compulsory schooling, and so we've got women who are effectively illiterate and with very little English. So it was felt that buying the tablets would enable the women here to be able to access online materials. And again, if your husband is studying here, they will have the tech, they will have the laptop in the family, and they will have first call on it, rightfully, because these are main people who have been sent here for that. But if the women are wanting to submit homework for the programs that they're doing, then they tend to do it in handwriting. There's nothing wrong with that, but to be able to give them the option of being able to submit through online means just means that they have got a wider experience of tech, which should serve them and their communities well in the future. So through that, we've raised 755 UK pounds, which so far has bought 5 tablets here, very entry level basic tablets, but really that's all we need, and has given us still some money left over, which I'm going to try and determine what the best way to spend that on tech is going forward, because as Mark just said, that we did have a large tech grant application in that's failed. There is a great need for better internet connectivity here, so I've got to work out the best way of using that money, and I could use that amount tenfold quite easily, so I want to use what I have got wisely. But a huge thank you to all of you who have supported on that. I'm sure we can um, leave that open for a little while, and if you haven't given yet, if you want to give a little bit more, we have met my target of initial target of £750, but if we get over that, I can assure you it'll be very, very well spent.
And I'm just grateful that I've got a laptop and Melanie has as well, which means that we don't have to share the laptop.
Yeah, and that we can afford to buy internet access for our home, so that we've got good access 24/7 if we need it, which isn't the case for everybody on site.
Anyway, I think that's enough for now. We'll try and be a bit closer to time to send you another update soon.
So Vanaka, which is thank you, Mothe, which is goodbye, and see you later, which we haven't learned yet.
No, Morthe and Vinaka.
Vanaka.